Hello, hello. I'm author Grace Wroldson, and I'm here to talk about social media usage and preventing problems with the narcissist or family court. And I do give out my tips, tools, and strategies for free to protective, loving, caring moms. I have a couple private Facebook groups, and it's always smart to set boundaries with yourself and be the mature, non high conflict parent. It's good for your custody case, it's good for your mental health, it's good for your children. And some of this is just common sense that is helpful and guidance that is helpful. So, if you're on social media, you want to restrict yourself, limit yourself, or put serious boundaries in place with your online activity, and then place, barriers to your real identity. I write and speak entirely in a pen name. All my books that tell my story of survival to thriving, and from losing in family court to successfully negotiating with a narcissist. This is my story. Just know that what I'm giving you is like not direct advice. I don't know your whole case. I can't possibly give you direct advice. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a therapist. I share my survivor wisdom, so take what's helpful, leave the rest. You could pause if you're watching this on my YouTube channel and read that whole statement. But if you're ready and willing to learn and do the work, I'm here to teach, coach, and mentor. I say learn all you can because knowledge is power, and a lot of my story is like story medicine. My background is loving and leaving an alcoholic, getting into recovery programs, breaking free of trauma bonds, and overcoming narcissistic abuse and healing from it fully. And then fighting in family court for 12 years with my narcissistic ex, and have losing with one attorney and going back with different attorneys and different strategies to win back the rights that I lost to my only child. So if you're on social media, I like to give you words of wisdom and some cautions. And I mostly am a strategist. I'm a certified life coach, and I strategize with moms and help support them emotionally as they go through this. If you're forced or required by the family courts to co-parent with your narcissistic ex or narcissist, then you will need support. And I talk about getting a team of 10 in my first book, Co-Parenting with a Narcissist, 7 Self-Rules to Stay Sane. I talk about the rest of my journey in my next 4 books. The second one to that is How to Fight a Narcissist in Family Court and Win, Super Smart Strategies for Success. But watch out for that word win, because narcissists like to win. They don't like to lose. Sometimes they'll win at whatever cost, and we don't want our children to be caught in the crossfires or collateral damage. So if you're on social media, I'd like to give you a few more tips. There is a first video. You can go back and watch video 1. You can pick up my new Tame the Narcissist new book. I ended up using skillful means and experts, and had my own coaches to help me change and stop being the narcissist target of blame and stand up to him in ways and threaten narcissistic supply and learn to be a non-threat threat and use my, telescoping techniques and customer service skills that I teach now, all that lead to peace and cooperation and making the best out of a bad situation. If you have a personality disordered ex that you are supposed to co-parent with and it's all drama, trauma, and chaos, you're not alone. I always say expect disorder with personality disordered people. And it's always wise to limit the amount of contact, but it's not smart to be their target of blame and stand up to them toe to toe. It's really not a smart move long term or even short term, as I learned in my story. So this is 10 keys for better co-parenting to create peace and protection using strategy and skillful means. And I say, I deleted my account, my Facebook account. It was heartbreaking, but I made a created account so I could stay in touch with my kids' school, sports, and community news. All of my books, just so you know, are available on Amazon. And, I've seen a lot of mistakes. Caring moms have made a lot of mistakes on social media. That's been brought up. in family court. It's been used against them. If you know anything about narcissists, they'll punch below the belt, so to speak, and they will use things against you, anything they can. They'll twist it, even if it's not even usable against you. They'll find a way to blame shift, twist, triangulate, and make it something they can use to deflect blame. So I don't recommend using social media for posting and liking and following, subscribing when you are, using the term narcissist and labeling. I've seen a lot of mistakes made. So maybe making a different account that gives nothing about your identity is a smart move. You'll have to decide, what's right for you and your family. I don't use a traceable name, and it might be a smart move for you. So, can social media be used against the narcissist in family court? Yes, sometimes. So, it might be wise to have an account so that you can monitor that. But it depends on your lawyer's overall strategy and other details of your unique case. So, here are some questions to ask yourself. Does it prove a point? Is it child related? Are you organized with your documentation? Does your lawyer know how to submit it as evidence? Does your judge even allow this? Are you taking screenshots in case the link goes away? Or are you too narcissist focused? Will it make you look bad to use social media evidence? And I've seen it go both ways. So my guidance to moms is to be the more mature party and stay out of the high conflict drama and social media stuff, so as to not get lumped in as part of the high conflict. We want to let the narcissist stand out in this case as the problem parent by highlighting his pattern of behavior. And you've got to, document strategically, be able to label these things, see what matters to the judge. And this can help the narcissist expose himself all by himself. And I say and suggest that moms document strategically. Look for my documentation guide that has an example of what I'm saying. For our memory, it's best to keep logs of things, and I suggest having that Google folder and being able to label the stuff that's happening. You could even designate a new Chromebook or computer just for the narcissist and co-parenting and the legal battle, just to keep your life separate in different compartments. You want to be able to be the best mom you can be, enjoy your child's one and only childhood, have your children survive and thrive despite having a narcissist father. I mean, there you can get stronger from the struggle. So we want to have the right mindset and adopt the healthiest attitude possible, like getting through it together. And it's important that you can label the tactic of the narcissist and not just get personally offended or emotionally involved and emotionally destabilized. If it's a false allegation, start a false allegation list. If it's a character assassination attempt, start that list. You might want to know if it's a lie. You will be documenting specifically what he's doing, and I coach moms through this as we document strategically. So we have 1 to 20 examples of, for example, lies, dates and times. But we always talk to the family law lawyer first. We always get a consultation to know what the judge hates to see and what they hate a parent to see a parent doing or not doing. And we target those issues because what matters to us might not matter to the judge at all. So we need to be smart and get legal guidance heading into court. I have a Get the Right Lawyer guide, and I try to find that link below that helps you. So if you are in a court battle with a narcissist, I don't recommend pro se going it alone, unless you have a law degree and you know the ins and outs of family court and all the paperwork. There are ways to strategically find free legal aid or start off without one, but be getting legal guidance behind the scenes, and then hire representation right before a trial. There's strategies. And it's not a one size fits all when you're dealing with strategies. And sometimes you have to change strategies. So I like to put social media limits. So if you're going to use social media, limit it, and be extra safe. Maybe don't use social media. And I say, what? It's a paradox, I know. I suggest using it for evidence if the kids are young and vulnerable to somewhat keep track of the narcissist social media, but don't use it for like our own posting. For example, I wouldn't post pictures of my kid with the new boyfriend and then his mom screenshots it, posts it on her page, sends it to her son to get him all mad. Remember that pictures don't have to be shared online to be shared to others. Anybody can take a screenshot, and you never know who's a flying monkey or a minion or who's looking out for the narcissist and heard his pity story and believed the lies, and then wants to help him because they elicit pity. And many of them are covert narcissists. So anything made private on a page of yours can be screenshotted by one of your friends and reposted. So it's smart to have some social media usage for things that can help your case and keep your kids safe, but then not be doing things that could harm your case. So, social media caution number one: don't use social media with your real name, or you put yourself at risk. Anything, absolutely anything, can be twisted and turned to support the lie of the narcissist. And I've seen where moms watch the narcissistic mom's post and find that the kids are out of state on their dad's time against the order because the background has a sign of the state park. And I've seen where pictures of kids at family parties show the children near a dangerous sexual predator uncle or abuser on dad's time when the court order strictly prohibits this explicitly. So be careful and remember to use it for child protection purposes, but I wouldn't recommend using social media to live out loud. For example, if you are in a court case or you have a personality disordered ex who's highly pathologically jealous and triggered very easily. So, caution number two: don't overly focus on the narcissist. If you're just watching his social media and feeling down about your life, that's not healthy or helpful for you. So, focus on your child's needs, your parenting, your life, your healing, gathering a team of support. Don't wake up to watch the narcissist living his best life out loud on social media. This can make you obsessed and ruin your day, mood, thoughts, year, even life. I've seen moms completely crumble watching the narcissist get new house, remarry, new kids, go on vacations while they're just surviving and scraping a few dollars. Can't even take their kids to a local movie. So narcissists tend to always get new supply in the form of vehicles, houses, new girlfriends, and exotic trips and vacations. That's just part of a given of how they operate, what they do. Just keep that in mind. Caution number three: remember that generally narcissists are easily triggered, pathologically jealous, naturally competitive, and often obsessed with their targets of blame and exacting revenge on them. Don't be an easy open target and mistakenly trigger the beast. If your ex really is a narcissist, then he suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. And I say it's not wise to push, poke, and prod a disordered person. Like, limit your interactions with someone like that because you will get disorder from a disordered person and they are toxic. So be smart, safeguard your custody case, watch out for social media. Caution number four: use a lawyer to know how much social media should be or could be used in your hearings and trial. You need to gauge if too much social media evidence shows you as a social media high conflict stalker. I've seen that happen. Or the other parent, it may look like you're other parent focused, not child focused, and you don't want to look like that. So there needs to be a balance. Whatever you have as evidence needs to rise to the level of concern for a judge, not us moms, not just us moms. And it needs to be presented well using an attorney who knows the rules of evidence and has a strategy. Most lawyers will decide if something is one, relevant, child related, or court order significant. They're going to screen the screenshots you give them, for example. You can read some of my legal strategies and my legal strategy guide. So other anonymous moms have cautioned moms on my groups. And one says, my lawyer asked if either of us has said anything spiteful of the other parent on social media. Lawyers sometimes ask for this. Also, if you find that he and his parents are posting things like you're trying to keep the kids from him, This may not help his case. Here are a few other anonymous moms posting in my private Facebook group. My narcissist ex tried to use my social media posts against me. My attorney had them thrown out because they were considered hearsay. Or my next tried in my case and they didn't care. Or my narcissistic ex tried a few times to use social media against me, even did a PowerPoint presentation on it, but since it was a public profile and I only reposted stuff but never commented, our judge didn't even read it, or at least said he didn't. Actually, the judge seemed annoyed by it. So you can see how it can go either way. Another mom says social media evidence has helped strengthen a case. So be careful and just relying on it solely. Sometimes lawyers and judges may find it irrelevant if it was long ago. It's good to hold on to, though, in case. Or you can use social media against the co-parent for exposure, but tread lightly. This is an anonymous mom posting. Unless it's substantial, it is easily seen as petty, not child-focused, and misleading since it is just a snapshot. And we all know socials are not real life to a degree. Another mom says, honestly, who knows if social media will help or hurt your case? You can always bring it up, but you'll never know what they'll do with it. My brother has a screenshot from the narcissist saying, let's kill the baby mama so we can have the child. And our lawyer said it can't be used because there's no way to prove who wrote it. Another mom says, my next narcissist new girlfriend made up an entire blog. It's bizarre. And I plan to use it against them if needed and scan for things that might be helpful. Another mom says social media can be used to show the character of the other party. Another mom says, I used a post where he threatened to put out an Amber Alert after he was notified we were fined by the police and he had spoken to our child. Another mom says, I plan to use the narcissist post saying that I'm the most loving, caring mother he could have ever picked for our kids. Why? Because now he's trying to claim otherwise out of spite. Go figure. Another mom wrote, for our case, my lawyer said I can use social media posts but can't use any unoriginal posts like a meme he shared. My lawyer informed me that it has to be something an individual wrote or it's hearsay. Another mom says, I made an error in using social media once. When there was a serial killer show on TV that went viral, I shared a meme that said the guy should have eaten my baby daddy, and it was allowed in court and used against me. But it was thrown out as hearsay. It didn't make me look good, that's for sure. And I'll just pause right here and say I'm reading these anonymous moms posts, and you can see how this can get very crazy. And that's why the tip is to get a safe person to vent to. You will need to vent all the anger and injustice and pain and betrayal when you're dealing with a personality disordered person. You may not want to use your lawyer like a therapist. That can get very expensive. But I'm going to keep going. Another mom says, I brought many screenshots of derogatory and untruthful posts by the narcissist about me into court. I mentioned all this along with my other reasons for wanting the changes I was asking for, but the judge just made a blanket statement that neither of us, quote unquote, should be posting on social media about the other. Another mom wrote, I was told that social media can be used. Just make sure to capture the actual date it was posted. As you can see, there's so many versions of this. Here's another one. In my husband's case, he submitted a screenshot from his next Facebook when she went to his daughters he brought, this is complicated, but they brought the daughters to the father-daughter dance with the new boyfriend without telling the real father, so he couldn't be there. So he had a screenshot and a text from his oldest daughter alluding that there was more than one of these in the past few years and expressing she's angry with him for not being there, but grateful for mom's boyfriend. And he hasn't been to court yet, but the lawyer thinks it's a slam dunk to prove alienation with everything else that they have. So you've got to be very, very careful. Make sure you're not doing that. Another mom says, my judge told us to, quote unquote, get along after seeing my ex call me every name in the book on social media. Seems like some judges don't care about mental and emotional abuse. So bottom line, if you dare to use social media, I invite you to join my private Facebook groups from a well-protected Facebook account or a created account that safeguards your custody case. And I do post tips, tools, and strategies like the ones you're seeing now to be careful on social media, not careless. And it's always a user warning. Social media was used against me in my family court battle at trial, so please be smart about using this and very cautious. The survivor mom tip is just assume that social media will be used against you. As you probably already know, a narcissist is very capable of twisting and turning all kinds of things against us. This way you don't have details or evidence he can use against you to show whatever he's trying to prove or create in people's minds. On my social media private Facebook groups, I have to make restrictions for members besides my posted Facebook group rules to attempt to keep other moms' custody cases safe. Just if you're not in a custody battle right now, you could be someday. So remember, there's no guarantees for anonymity or safety. Prior to my new way of hosting my groups, many moms were commenting to encourage each other, but then sometimes they would share their sensitive case details in the comments, and it was so much work to read through and have to delete comments. By then, that information was already out there, and if the narcissist's new girlfriend, sister, mother had joined the group also, if that was somehow public knowledge of what groups you're in, they can be spying and stalking and looking for evidence. So no, if you do not post anonymously on my groups, you'll get a decline message from my admin team saying, "Hi, please repost this anonymously to the group for encouragement, resource links, and support. Grace, our host, author, and coach, had social media used against her in family court. So she works hard to protect other moms from the same thing. You can reach out to her if you need one-to-one private, confidential coaching calls. Thanks for being a mom member with us. FYI, for me to be safe on social media, keep safe, and protect myself, I write and speak in an author pen name. That way I can tell you what really happened in my custody case and all of the components of how tricky my case was. As many of you know, I had to restructure my private Facebook group because moms were posting direct advice and their custody case details. And as of now, anonymous comments are not available feature on Facebook yet. We hope this option becomes available someday so that we can change our group rules. And currently, with thousands of struggling moms, we can't keep track and monitor every post or comment. So my goal is to give you encouragement and resource links to get support with reminders to use the tips, tools, and wisdom so that you can have a better outcome co-parenting with a narcissist. And I hope some of the encouragement you get and knowledge that you're not alone can keep you going so you can be the best mom you can be, even in this awful circumstance, such as being required to co-parent with a narcissist or in a custody battle. Please know you're not alone. My mission is to help support loving, caring, motivated mothers who are forced to co-parent with a narcissist to maintain their sanity, save and safeguard their custody cases, and enjoy their children's one and only childhood. Through teaching skillful means method and thinking about navigating around the narcissist and neutralizing the narcissist, sharing my story to validate what you might be experiencing, and writing down all the effective tips, tools, and strategies I use successfully. You can find all of them in my 5 books. There's some blogs and videos, and I aim to offer you wisdom and hope so you can improve a bad co-parenting situation and conditions, even if it's just a little bit, because every little bit of light and sunshine can help a dark situation. And after going through all of this myself, I believe we can come out smarter and stronger than before. Through all the pain and trials, we certainly can become wiser and more aware, and not just go through this, but grow through this. So what happened in my custody case on social media? Well, in my case, the narcissist's high-powered lawyer used a GoFundMe post that a friend made for my medical travel costs to cover some of my travel to specialists for my disability, and this was then shared on social media, mainly Facebook. Yes, they attempted to use my newly diagnosed genetic disorder and disability against me. How? Well, one of the pictures on the GoFundMe was from a few years ago. It had a picture of me and my child at Thanksgiving, and they tried to paint a picture of me as a mom using my child to extort money from others and project my condition onto our child with an absurd Munchausen by proxy claim and false claim. And the picture was blown up as large as the page and was taken as evidence. And I watched in horror as the judge put it in front of the binder of evidence on his desk. And I never know how, to this day, if the picture helped the judge see me as a loving mom and allow me to keep 50% physical custody while he stripped me of all my legal rights, or what it did, or not. If you read my full story, I later had to go back to court with a different, better lawyer, prove it was all a lie, and get my rights reinstated. So don't underestimate how low a narcissist and or his lawyer will go. Evidence that can support you can also be twisted and used against you with a clever, unethical attorney. So consider this a warning. Sure, I may have received 700 from loving, caring, helpful people in my community before shutting the GoFundMe page down that day, but it probably cost $7,000 and more in legal fees for 4 years, and so much trauma to my child when he won and switched her school out of town, took away her phone, ended her therapist. And, I lost all my legal rights to my only child, who I was trying to protect from her alcoholic father. So use social media very carefully, and be, getting legal guidance. And when I talk about gray walling, it's the castle and curtain method. You want to keep what's important private information inside your castle walls. So it's not wise to rely on social media for all your advice and support. I mean, it has great features. You're probably finding me through social media, but we need more than a social media crisis post to support us in this. So can you rely on social media for all your guidance and advice? I don't think that's a good idea. It's not wise to rely on social media for your only source of support. When we are up against a narcissist, whether co-parenting or a custody battle, there are usually many problems. Most of us use a web and use the web and social media for advice, but be careful not to take direct advice from someone who isn't your attorney and knows the full details of your custody case. That happened to me. I took advice from a well-meaning person, and she wasn't a lawyer. So whatever you do or don't do, all your actions need to be part of your lawyer's strategic plan. Taking advice from a well-meaning mom who's just trying to help and has only been through her custody battle with her ex might cause more harm than good. So I care about what you're going through. I understand the serious need for support. Unfortunately, as an author of my own life story and just a certified life coach, my private Facebook groups and social media platforms can't provide crisis support one-on-one. And I'm also not a crisis caseworker. My admins and people that help, they're not trained professionals. So I urge you to please reach out to your local professional support centers if it's safe to do so or in a safe way, or call the national hotlines. The strong suggestion I give is I encourage you to seek and get help and not rely on social media for your only source of support or venting. Take care of yourself by prioritizing your need for help, guidance, and therapy. I believe that getting support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Be sure that the support you get is safe for your custody case, which is why I always recommend having a good family law lawyer as part of your support team. Please know that you don't have to do this alone. I had a team of 10 established to take my calls and hold me when I was at an emotional cliff, or I needed to do my recovery programs to hold emotional sobriety. You can learn about this in my first book, Co-Parenting with a Narcissist, 7 Self-Rules to Stay Sane. There's a link in the bottom for specialists. Bottom line is, don't rely on social media as your only source of support and for emergency advice. So hang on and have hope. I keep writing for moms who are required to co-parent and are stuck in a high conflict custody battle with a narcissist. If this is you, you're not alone. I work with moms in one-to-one strategy sessions to develop sustainable strategies and to start thinking strategically. I teach my 2 strategies and methods of skillful means and gray walling to establish peace and protection, and my books can validate what you might be experiencing and give you creative ways to improve your co-parenting conditions. In my books, I include all my tips, tools, and strategies for moms to grab onto. Sometimes they hold on to them like a life raft. Sometimes it's solely about survival and staying afloat. I believe there are healthy attitudes to adopt that we can, and mindsets that we need to make solid to endure this, and sanity to hold on to, as well as beneficial perspectives to take that can help us endure the dilemma and survive a custody battle. We can learn to use what I call skillful means that the Buddha teaches and strategies to navigate and neutralize the narcissist. Find my 11 video program. Learn all you can from my survivor wisdom, because knowledge is power. Let my chapters or my video program be story medicine for you on your healing journey from narcissistic or post-separation abuse. My goal is to leave you with tidbits of wisdom, lots of encouragement, and know that you can endure this with support and be resilient in the face of the many challenges when dealing with a narcissist. The truth is that our love for our child or children is bigger than the narcissist. Believe in yourself as a mom and remember to learn the valuable lesson in all the pain and problems and come out of this smarter and stronger than before. Like me, you can 1, outgrow the narcissist, and 2, become immune to his attacks, and 3, move on with your life to thrive. And better yet, so can our precious children. So use wisdom, lead with love. This is Grace Wroldson. I'm a mother, survivor, author, coach, and strategist. My Get the Right Lawyer Guide link will be below. These are just helpful tips based on my thoughts and opinions. I'm not a qualified mental health professional or crisis caseworker. I can't give legal advice or appropriate counsel, therefore not liable for any injury or harm. Please follow your doctors, therapists, counselors, lawyers' advice as well as your own good common sense and intuition based on your unique case to see if these tips could be helpful. Child custody situations vary, where some of the things I say won't be applicable for your circumstance. So, furthermore, court orders may dictate otherwise. So please use your own good judgment when watching this video or listening to my podcast or reading my blog. This is for personal self-help only, and they're created from my own lived experience, not based on any laws or rules of the courts. It's copyright protected, not to be sold, distributed without my consent. My newest guides talk about using the 20 wants list as a strategy and a solution. And I have a bonus guide that explains how to make this become framed in such a way that negotiations with a narcissist will be possible in the future. So you have to set yourself up for success. Check out what I'm doing and help found a nonprofit for disadvantaged moms in custody battles trying to protect their young children. All those links are below or on my website, www.gracewroldson.com. And, you will have to navigate around the narcissist, navigate the complex and inadequate family court system, navigate all the drama, trauma, and chaos, navigate the fears and the trauma bonds and the triggers. So you want to move from stress to strategic. Look for some more free videos where I talk about making this mental shift and finding the support team that we need. Look for my free Navigate the Narcissist checklist. It's a Google Drive where you can watch each video and write down what you've learned. And I want to say you're a brave mom, so hang in there. I'm glad you watched this. I hope you're learning something. If it's safe for you to post what you learned or like it, then go for it. But if you're being safe on social media, maybe you stay anonymous and you just watch and learn and keep yourself in your custody case safe from any social media platforms that can have evidence that could possibly be used against you in family court. So be smart about your custody case, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe to get notified when I post some more free videos. Thank you.